Welcome to my NFL Week 15 picks video. Please play along and post your picks in the comments section. Last week I was a terrible 7-8 straight up and 6-8-1 against the spread. This week I vow to be better. Thursday night is an old school AFC West rivalry as the Chargers travel to Vegas to play the Raiders. Vegas is a 3-point favorite and the over-under is 33.5. Both teams are 5-8, and while neither team has realistic playoff possibility, a loss will basically end all playoff hopes. The Chargers will give Easton Stick his first NFL start, while the Raiders will continue to go with rookie Aiden O'Connell despite being shut out last week. I got the Raiders winning a tight one, Vegas 17, LA 15, and Friday, Chargers head coach Brandon Staley will be fired. We have a Saturday triple hitter starting with Minnesota traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Cincy's a 3.5 point favorite and over-under is 38.5. I predicted the Bengals season was over once Joe Burrow went down. Instead, the Bengals won 2 straight and scored 34 points both games. The Vikings won 3-0 in a game last week where starting quarterback Josh Dobbs was benched and Justin Jefferson had to be rushed to a hospital after a vicious hit. I believe Dobbs still gets the start, but that's unknown, and Justin Jefferson is going to try and play, but as I am making this video, the official status is questionable. I like the Bengals here. Cincy 24, Minnesota 17. Next up is Pittsburgh traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Indy is a 2.5 point favorite and over-under is 42. Both of these teams are among 6, 7, and 6 AFC teams, but these two currently hold the tiebreakers, meaning they occupy the 6 and 7 seeds in the playoffs, meaning a win keeps you in and a loss might kick you out. I already have one of these 7 and 6 teams winning earlier today, so stakes are high. The Steelers have lost 2 straight and 3 out of the last 4, while the Colts did lose last week. They did win 4 straight before that. I'm really struggling here because I can't see Pittsburgh losing another one, but the Colts are simply the better team. One thing though, the Colts run defense is among the worst in the NFL, allowing 1,710 yards and 19 touchdowns on the ground after the first 13 games of the season. Maybe it's Tomlin nostalgia, but I'm going with a minor upset. Steelers 18, Colts 17. In a recent scientific study, swimsuit models find DanTalksFootball subscribers 769% more desirable than non-subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. Now back to the picks. Next up is Denver traveling to Detroit to play the Lions. Detroit is a 5 point favorite and over-under is 47. These are two teams going in opposite directions. Denver's won 6 out of the last 7, while Detroit has dropped 2 out of their last 3. Despite the 2 losses, Detroit still has a firm grasp on the NFC North, while Denver is one of those 7 and 6 AFC teams fighting for the playoffs. I'm smelling another upset here. Broncos 27, Lions 25. The first Sunday game is an NFC South showdown with Atlanta traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. Carolina is a 3-point home dog and over-under is 35.5. I'm feeling a Carolina upset here, but a 3-way tie for the division lead. I simply can't justify Atlanta letting up. I'm going Falcons 24, Panthers 19. Next up is the Giants traveling to the Big Easy to play the Saints. New Orleans is a 4.5 point favorite with the over-under at 37. The Giants are fresh off a nice Monday night win over the Pack, while the Saints had one of the more interesting stories of the week with teammates Derek Carr and Eric McCoy getting into an argument on the field. The DeVito-led Giants have quietly won 3 straight, and while despite the spat, the Saints did win last week and are one of the 3, 6, and 7 NFC South teams. I love the DeVito story and am pulling for him to get a 4th straight win, but I don't see it. Saints 23, Giants 20. Next is Chicago traveling to Cleveland to play the Browns. Cleveland is a 3.5 point favorite and over-under is 37.5. Both teams have switched quarterbacks recently with great results. Flacco threw for 311 and 3 touchdowns in a win over the Jags, while Justin Fields has impressed with back-to-back wins over divisional foes. While Flacco was impressive, the Browns are led by an awesome defense that has allowed the fewest yards in the NFL this year, but the Bears defense has has really come on, allowing 23 points total in the last 2 wins, and the Bears defense is second in rushing yards allowed. I'll bet this is a close, ugly game, and I'm going with an upset. Bears 16, Browns 15. Next is an AFC East showdown with the Jets traveling to Miami to play the Dolphins. Miami is a 9-point favorite with the over-under at 39.5. Miami dropped a 14-point fourth quarter lead on Monday night while Zach Wilson played the best game of his career in an upset win over the Texans. I'm curious if Miami's loss was a fluke, and the same thing with Zach Wilson. If so, this should be an easy win for Miami, which won 34-13 in New York just 3 weeks ago. However, Zach Wilson's talent was never in question, and while Miami's defense has been playing really good the last several weeks, has been up and down this year. Personally, I don't think last week was a complete fluke, and this ends up being a fun game. I still see Miami winning. Give me Dolphins 24, Jets 20. Next is what was supposed to be the Monday night game with the Chiefs traveling to Foxborough to play the Patriots. New England is a massive 9.5-point home dog, and over-under is 37. New England won only its third game of the season Thursday night, and the Chiefs have lost 2 straight for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career. The extra rest will help the Patriots contain a struggling Chiefs offense, but I don't see KC losing 3 straight. Chiefs 24, Patriots 16. Next is an AFC South showdown with Houston coming to Tennessee to play the Titans. Tennessee is a 2-point favorite, and over-under is 38. Last week to picture the Titans as a favorite would be laughable, but after an impressive come-from-behind victory on Monday night and with CJ Stroud in concussion protocol, Tennessee should be the favorite. Texans leading receiver Nico Collins was also injured in last week's game and is questionable for Sunday. I think the Titans will take care of business against a banged-up Texans team. Tennessee 22, Houston 17. For the final early game, we have Tampa Bay coming up to the frozen tundra to play the Pack. Green Bay is a 3.5-point favorite with the over-under at 42. Tampa is coming off of a huge win against Atlanta, which gives them the current lead in the NFC South, and Green Bay lost on a last-second field goal on Monday night. Game time temperature is going to be 40, practically a heat wave by Wisconsin standards, and with it not being the frozen tundra and coming off a tough Monday night game, I'm going upset. Bucks 24, Packers 23. We start our afternoon delight with an NFC West showdown with the 49ers going to the desert to play the Cardinals. Arizona's the biggest underdog of the day, being a 14-point home dog with the over-under at 48. San Francisco clinched the first playoff berth of the season last week and are the NFL's hottest team, winning 5 straight. Arizona upset Pittsburgh last week and is not playing bad right now. Division games are usually pretty close, so the 49ers won't cover, but still win. San Fran 31, Arizona 22. Next up, we have Washington traveling to LA to play the Rams. LA is a 7-point favorite and over-under is 49. The Rams, despite losing last week, have been one of the better teams in football, and even though they are 6-7, the playoffs look very likely. Washington losers of 4 straight, even off a bye. I just don't see them really winning. Rams 31, Commanders 19. For the final afternoon game, we have Dallas traveling to Buffalo to play the Bills. Buffalo's a 2.5-point favorite and over-under is 50.5. Both teams are coming off the biggest wins of the season, and both teams have a lot to play for Sunday. This is the best game of the week, and I hope it's a good one. Dallas is dominant at home, but not on the road, and Buffalo has been up and down all year. Dallas really is the better team, and I think it shows up even on the road. Cowboys 34, Bills 25. Sunday night is going to be good as the Ravens travel to Duval to play the Jags. Jacksonville's a 3.5-point home dog and the over-under is 43.5. Jacksonville has stumbled, losing 2 in a row, while Baltimore at 10-3 is on top of the AFC. If you didn't skip ahead, you saw that I have both Houston and Indy losing, so even with a loss, Jacksonville keeps its 1-game lead in the AFC South. That's good because I think Baltimore wins big. Ravens 34, Jags 17. Monday night is big with playoff ramifications as Philly travels to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Seattle is a 4-point home dog and the over-under is 47.5. With a loss Sunday, the Eagles went from being the #1 1 seed in the NFC to the 5 seed. Seattle, despite losing 4 straight, is one of 5, 6, and 7 teams in the NFC and could still make the playoffs. The Eagles have lost twice in a row in blowout fashion, but San Francisco and Dallas are simply better teams than Seattle. I bet this game is entertaining and Seattle will cover. Eagles 31, Seahawks 29. Not everyone understands sports betting, and if you are one of those people, check out my tutorial video on how to bet on an NFL game listed here. Are you going out to an NFL game in December? Check out my video titled How to Stay Warm at Arrowhead. Don't forget, I go live every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I bring on some really great guests. On the live stream, all questions are answered and anything goes. Join the show, and I can't wait to see you again.